good, you guys? I go by Boomer, and you're watching Bali Star. Today, we're getting into how Drake just dissed Kendrick Lamar and crashed out on stream. Now, I caught some footage of this, man. He was on a streamer called XQC stream, you know what I'm saying? And he was saying some tings, man. Some tings. And yeah, you know, let's just say he's definitely not happy with the outcome of how things played out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course. Um, so I saw that I guess after the stream, it happened after the stream that he went as far as to sue Interscope, the label, for the gratuitous rise of Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? He thinks it was the numbers were inflated. You know what I'm saying? That they were run up by bots. You know what I'm saying? He didn't think that nobody was bumping that. Like that was the champion song that won the beef. Like, let's get straight on into it, bro. Let's go.
All eyes were on Kendrick Lamar this weekend as he just dropped his brand new record GNX, and it has been absolutely everywhere. As this record is, of course, the first new Kendrick Lamar project since his beef with Drake.
Video
we all
there.
knew it was always
You
going
waste
to be
no
a
time.
rough time for Drake when this thing eventually came out, and now despite Drake having months in advance to prepare for whatever Kendrick may have been throwing out that we all knew just from the hype alone was going to shatter records and just create and solidify a moment that nobody was going to miss. Instead of Drake working in the studio, getting any sort of music ready that can win him back any sort of respect, or just having some sort of a decent moment or announcement ready to go that can try to limit the impact of this massive release from Kendrick Lamar, who over everything for Drake right now is the one guy that he is obsessed with and is still not over the absolute destruction of his career that he pulled off. In this pivotal time that, if played right, while Drake is never going to change the narrative of what happened, it could have at least given him an ounce of credibility and respect back. Instead of doing anything right, Drake just decided to continue to run away from the decaying circus that is the future of his rap career.
Bro, he's only solidifying his L, bro. He is making the L dig that much deeper. To go as far as to sue the label, like which rapper in the history of beef has went so far as to sue the label of that rapper that they have beef with? That is some B made ish, bro. And I'm only saying that because I'm only 2 minutes in, so usually be, you know what I'm saying, iffy, shifty, you know what I'm saying, all those things. But yeah. That's some B made ish, bro. And for Drake to be the first rapper to do that.
And just like he has been trying to do with all of his petty antics and posting on his social media, he just did something that is ultimately trying
What's
to
even sadder is the people that still try to defend this dude. You're seriously gonna defend that? Then you're not a hip hop head. You don't like hip hop. You just like Drake. You don't like hip hop. And we calling you out. We Xing all y'all out. Facts.
A distraction from the fact that we are almost 12 months into the year, and yet Drake has not released one genuine hit, which really is an all-time low for him. And so right now, so perfectly in character for who Drake is, what he decided to do in this time, go on stream with live streamer XQC. And after sitting on camera in real time with people all over the world tuned in waiting to see what version of himself Drake is even going to be projecting at this point in time, somehow, even after months to just think about how to move forward from this beef and try to adapt some sort of a comeback strategy, Drake has shown that he is just falling further and further into shambles, because instead of joining this stream like a normal person would, and just having fun with the creator you're sitting next to, and the chat that wants to talk to you, and with this community interaction showing off who you really are as a person, like pretty much every rapper has done when they appear alongside someone like Kai Cenat, for example, Drake maybe did one of the most humiliating live streams of all time, because seriously, everything that could have went wrong in something like this did. Now, before we look into how this moment was just a sheer and utter disaster for Drake, and how still Kendrick Lamar, without even trying, is destroying Drake's career, Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And so now with this hysterically embarrassing moment from Drake with seemingly every move he made on this stream, he just kept reminding
This
everyone
guy
of
had to
all the
stop
beef he
him.
has been involved in, and as a result, all of the embarrassment and losses he has taken. And this is because from Kendrick Lamar to other artists he has been at odds with in some capacity, he just never stopped yapping about all the other people in the music industry that he doesn't like. And he just did this in the most pathetic way you would ever think a rapper of his stature would. Because in of itself, a hip-hop artist in this time where his back is against the wall and his rivals like Kendrick Lamar are doing all-time great things. Seeing somebody who has called themselves the best MC ever just sit in a chair on a stream instead of trying to find ways to save his image through his bars is just the most anti-hip-hop thing we have ever seen. And when it comes to just being anti-hip-hop, because this really is what Drake is at this point in terms of what he is representing, and as he has even said on stream, how he is directly going against the entirety of the genre by saying things like hip-hop is in a weird place right now. Which, even with saying that, it really just seems like a way for him to cope about the fact that Kendrick Lamar pretty much banished him from rap royalty. Altogether, when we see how Drake is just alienating himself from everything that's related to hip-hop. In a way, it's really sad that the most notable moments we have seen from Drake in months are coming from what he is saying, as he is half paying attention sitting down in a chair with no interest in what's going on, both with the streamer he is sitting next to and with the chat who wants to speak to him whatsoever. And again, while Kendrick Lamar dropped this album that is breaking streaming
I think I saw a part of the stream where like he didn't dap XQC up. I think it was a dap or something. He didn't acknowledge XQC at all. And it's like, bro, you're not there to be there for homie, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and is setting new heights for what a concise and meaningfully crafted body of work can do in the streaming era. All Drake is doing here is trying to poke and taunt Kendrick Lamar with his pathetic and meaningless phrases. And he came at Kendrick directly on the stream when he said, "You need facts to take me out, fairy tales won't do it." And I mean, the way that Drake is still saying this, as he is literally being a spectator on the side of everything else that's happening in hip-hop, is ironic. And again, with these words, we see Drake here using this same old narrative that claims that Kendrick defeated him based on lies and deception. And I mean, if you just have any sort of critical thinking skills. While we all have known that in rap beefs, not everything said is 100% true. All of Kendrick's disses were rooted in a
mean, look at what J. Cole said about Kendrick when he put out that diss track. You know what I'm saying? Like, half the said he said wasn't true. Of course, J. Cole fans won't acknowledge that because, that's their GOAT. J. Cole stands are basically like Drake stands. And I'll say even Kendrick stands. You know what I'm saying? Stands in general, bro. But J. Cole stands won't acknowledge the fact that J. Cole, like, I won't say half the time, but 1/4 of the time, 1/4 of the time lied in his diss, bruh. Saying that his albums didn't do better than the other. I'm like, are you kidding? Are you serious? And no, say his second album. No, not second. Second album? Yeah, second album was Snooze Fest. I'm like, bro, look at your second album, Born Sinner. Are you kidding me? Like, when I listen to it, bro, I literally, I for real fell asleep through like half the album, bro. Like, I was trying to stay awake, bro. I was trying to stay awake through it, bro. The only songs I like were Crooked Teeth and Born Sinner. The last song, I think it was Born Sinner. I'm a born sinner, I'll do better than that. Swear. Yeah, I really like that song. But those are the only good songs. 2 out of how many did he put on the album? Like 18?
Reality and truth that we have all seen from Drake with our very own eyes, which is why they stuck and made such an impact against him in the first place. So with Drake still not understanding the fundamental rules of rap beef, and just having no major successful moments to dispute the idea that his career hasn't been in shambles ever since the beef. At the point we are at, Drake just sounds like he is complaining for the sake of it and to try to victimize himself and make his fans have empathy for him, which again just goes back to Kendrick's sentiment of him being a master manipulator, as he is just ignoring any semblance of logic or truth when he makes these claims. And now when it comes to trying to diss and get back at Kendrick Lamar here, Drake didn't stop with this awful one-liner, as he also announced that he is going to be touring Australia in 2025. Which is a big announcement on his end, as it is showing us that he is going to be trying to come back outside and not post on social media or do weird events like these, and is actually going to be doing something for his music career, which I guess is a step in the right direction. With this entire move, all Drake is trying to do here is really diss Kendrick Lamar, as he is starting this tour on February 9th, which he was so excited to announce. And now, what's significant about this date is that this is the same day as the Super Bowl halftime show, where
Exactly.
Kendrick Lamar is, of course, going to be playing the biggest event in all of music.
You
And
want to
I
get out
mean,
of
if this was
America. You want
supposed
to
to
get
be
out
a
of North
diss or
America.
something to try and send a message to Kendrick Lamar, announcing that you're running away from the country that Kendrick told you to get out of. During one of the lamest live streams that has been talked about all year, was about the most pathetic thing he could have done. And when you compare Kendrick's cinematic announcement trailer to Drake just babbling on this stream, where he sounds like he's not just confused, bored, and really like he doesn't want to be here at all, but it's also just so clear that he is only even doing this tour in the first place to get back at Kendrick Lamar as opposed to actually wanting to continue his journey as a rapper and artist forward. Overall, and there is
He's
no
stuck.
other way to say this, but this is the lamest announcement that Drake could have made when it comes to announcing his return to either getting back on the stage or in the booth. And now continuing in this run of just announcing things that have absolutely no hype to them. Drake also tried to take the spotlight away from Kendrick Lamar by saying that his collab album with Party Next Door is 75% complete. Which honestly now, with this new Kendrick album being released and it having such a strong impact already, I mean, between what we are seeing from Kendrick, and then just seeing Drake talk about this album, where despite him saying that it's going to be great and that it's almost done, when you hear the tone of his voice and hear his mannerisms, he just sounds so unenthusiastic about it. Again with this, somehow Drake is even making the announcement of a whole new project, which is something that everyone wants to see from him in this time sounds so lame. And now, as the stream went on, Drake just continued to set new lows on how pathetic of a person he can be. As whether he was sounding more engaged by yelling at the people giving him flack in the chat as opposed to anything else he said or did while being on the stream, which again just highlights how bitter this man is in his very nature. So then, when XQC played The Weeknd and Drake said, "You've got to switch the song, we're real Sixers," or when he laughed when Metro Boomin's Trance was played, or when he called out Steve Lacy on the stream in this weird and vague way, even Steve Lacy has already posted about and is just laughing as opposed to being intimidated. Altogether, all these moments from Drake just show us that he is lost, and due to the way everything has transpired for him, instead of trying to do anything good for his career, he is just wallowing in all of the negativity that has been built up inside of him and letting it make him just make this more petty and really in a lot of ways sad version of a man that we have ever seen. And really, I think the best part about this all has to be Kendrick Lamar's reaction to the crash out Drake had on the stream,
I saw this too,
which really just shows
tripping?
that Kendrick has
I
never
read
respected
that
this man
voice.
less. And I mean, when you look at the difference between him and
You
Kendrick, it's
tripping?
just so strange that Kendrick was able to take his disdain for Drake and utilize it to kick off one of the greatest runs in hip-hop history. Meanwhile, with Drake, he hasn't done anything good for his career since this beef, and he has just been letting his bitterness for Kendrick taint his career in terms of the success and quality of everything he is putting out. And I mean, even beyond the art, overall, Drake's image is just an absolute joke because of this. As now, the only version of Drake we have seen in the past few months is the exact same person that Kendrick Lamar portrayed him out to be in terms of the fact that he just can't grow up and do things like the rest of us would. And I mean, while this is just such odd behavior, especially from somebody who is in a profession like rapping, where you are supposed to be a resilient and inspiring personality, I guess in a way we shouldn't be surprised by how sour of a place Drake is in and how different he is moving than Kendrick.
It's like you're telling
because
your
at
mom
the
on your
core
big
of
brother
what
or
these
something.
artists represent, this is what separates both of them as rappers in every sense of the word, from the music they create to their respect for the craft. And the difference has never been more visible than right now, because as Kendrick has told us, when he is lost, he continues to search in himself until he can find where to go. Meanwhile, with Drake, he is just really having a public temper tantrum for all of us to see, and it is spanning across an almost entire year's worth of time at this point. And in this live stream setting that we have just seen him in, I think we really just saw the worst of it to this point, as we just witnessed a version
y'all
of
remember
Drake
seeing
that
him
over
crying on
everything
stage and
has
stuff, right?
absolutely nothing positive to offer to hip hop. But what's crazy is that as Drake keeps doing more and more ridiculous stunts and keeps getting more bitter as his rivals find more success, which with the events that someone like Kendrick Lamar has lined up, this is definitely going to be something we will see. I won't be surprised when he finds yet another way to show that he is having one of the greatest downfalls, not just in hip hop, but really in the history of music. And so now, with all that said, let me know. What did you think about this moment from Drake and everything he had to say and throw towards his competition?
Boys getting jaw ruled, man. Alright, you guys, so that was how Drake just dissed Kendrick Lamar and crashed out on stream, man. Yeah, bruh. Drizzy. Damn. Still gonna be bumping your old shit, though, nigga. Y'all let me know your thoughts about down in the comment section down below. It's Boomer. You're watching Body Star. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. 100.
Ain't nothing that was ever the same ever since I went through that pain. These people be cruising for strings and I'm over here like the 7 seas. It's nothing that was ever retained. Once I held on to my name, my balls, my word is I'm giving her and I'm giving her 2 of them things. Say it's an equal exchange. I'll break a dime in a change. I'll put an old girl on a train and take her to Pound Town and let her a cane. And shooting a movie in frame. These dudes annoying her just like some stains.